opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo set to bring you all of the action for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. And Frank, what can the players expect from Wolf Creek?
Just a mesmerizing layout, Rich. You can see that from above. Straight driving is imperative out there today. You actually don't have to hit the ball a long way. The elevation on those tees is going to give you that extra distance on almost every shot. You can even take driver out of play on some of the holes. But really it's about being in the right position first on those tee shots that you're going to hit today. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Well, where this ball's going, there's no fairway there, only rough.
90 yards. Frank, golf shoes might not be good enough here at Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. You might need your hiking boots here because there are so many elevated tees.
Well, fortunately, we don't have to rappel down the mountains or the hills here, but there are billy goats around here as well, so be careful. If you stray, you might just, well, join a new tribe.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's no snack, though. Can't birdie them all, Rich.
Getting set now over the putt. That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. So with that, the score is now at even par. Let's take you down to the 7th hole. Has not been a stellar performance to this point, but Frank, not too bad.
When you consider 4-round events, Rich, you're going to have a period where there's a little lull. As long as you can minimize the damage over the course of 4 days, it turns out all right.
We just saw a player in total control of what he's doing. Didn't miss a green in regulation all day long. See if he can give his round a real big boost. This putt is for eagle. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And this will be a 5-foot putt here. who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. Young star makes his birdie.
This one starting down the right does not look like it's going to draw back towards the flag.
But it will catch the green. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
This one has a good line.
And yet another birdie, this time inching into the top 5.
Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 ninth, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off, because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunker on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Nothing to argue about there, right in the fairway. Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal, so you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
This is a good-looking shot. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. And with that birdie, moves into second place. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. What a great shot. Oh, that's fine. Rich, these players aren't getting a reprieve with the win right now.
And right from the start, the winds have been kicking pretty good.
Yeah, but at least it's presenting that challenge for the players that don't get every other day.
This will test the player. I mean, it's one thing to play with no wind in perfect conditions, but as we know, golf is a game of variables.
Yeah, and better strike will be rewarded today.
That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
That's a good birdie right there. Into 4 under par for the championship. There you have it, Frank. First round is complete. What are your thoughts, partner?
Rich, I think anyone inside the current top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly well placed to go on and take this championship.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Always some extra excitement when you get to the first major championship of the year, and here we are. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Partner, this is a big one.
It certainly is, Rich, and being the first major of the year, you know the players are going to be a little bit more nervous. Anticipations of a great year are going to start right here this week at Wolf Creek. And you're going to have to make all those adjustments out there. Is your game ready? Can you adjust for the changes in elevation? And do you have the confidence to go all the way and pick up the first major championship of the year?
Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. We are about 170 yards from the hole. So Frankie is leaning, and it appears as though this one's headed a bit right.
Yeah, just came out of it. I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Frank, that birdie will help the cause. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're, well, a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Pretty good effort right there. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Doesn't dig into the lead with that par, but Frank, sometimes, and you know this as well as anyone, you just have to kind of maintain your footing out there. Now to the 16th hole, and Frank, another good scoring chance.
If you can avoid the confusion off the tee, it looks like the hole might be a dogleg, then is it a carry? It meanders from one way to the other, but really when you actually break the hole down, it's virtually straight ahead. Those two bunkers in the driving distance, they frame the hole nicely, so play it as a straightaway par 4. It should set up beautifully for just a little short iron and perhaps a birdie opportunity.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie. Even par currently.
Excellent read for birdie to move to 5 under for the tournament. Frank, you licking your chops here at the par 5, 17th hole?
Oh, why not? A chance to reach a par 5 and 2, but there's still pitfalls in front of you. A little creek or stream runs across the fairway, so really limiting the distance you can hit that tee shot, but it's still reachable from just short of that creek. Find trouble off the tee, then obviously you turn it into a 3-shotter, but a good tee shot, and it's too tempting to resist not going for this green. Rich, there's great drivers of the ball. We've seen Norman, Nicholas over the years, but that there is just excellent. Lovely full turn, plenty of power, and just piped it.
Made it look easy right there, and he's such a good-looking player. When he's dialed in, swinging the way he is right now, just a pleasure to watch. Good chance at one. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
For good reason, not just an eagle too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
Finishing hole here at Wolf Creek is only 307 yards. Frank, where's the trouble here?
Short and to the right of this par 4. Really, there's a multitude of options off this tee. You could hit an iron, you could hit a fairway wood. Even some might try and hit a driver, but that's a little too risky. There's too many problems up ahead if you try and take this hole on. Really, a short club off the tee, leaving yourself some area of 100, 70 yards, and you're going to be putting for birdie more often than not.
Great strike and a great result. Setting up, good chance to attack the flag. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Made par yesterday, this one for birdie.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie, now have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Those are painful from that distance.
Yeah, just another one added to the card. Big mistake.
Just a couple of feet. Suddenly, we have a tie for the lead.
Yeah, bogey there. It's not the worst.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage EA Sports Spring Invitational. Well, this is one of my favorite tournaments of the year. It's the EA Sports Spring Invitational and just a stunning golf course. It's Wolf Creek in Mesquite, Nevada. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And Frank, we're in for quite a day.
We are. We're going to see the decision-making processes of some of the fine players out there today. And the reason why I say that, Rich, is because there's so much elevation here at Wolf Creek. So you're going to have to make those adjustments on the downhill and the uphill. Club selection decisions. And, of course, the one that does that the best is more than likely the one that's going to come out on top.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but that is well on the cards.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
Locked in on the read and the speed. And at this point, Frank, he'd settle for par with the heat rising, all the pressure building, but an eagle at this point, tremendous effort.
Here at the par 4, 445-yard second hole. Severe dogleg to the left. What's the best play here, Frank?
Well, that tee shot, Rich, is so intimidating, so you don't necessarily have to hit driver. Club decision is probably going to be important here because if you hit driver, you've got to take it down over that left side all over the canyon area. So if you hit 3-wood, you can play a slightly more conservative tee shot, but it is going to leave you a longer second shot to a green that's well protected on the right side by bunkers. But really, if the wind's not blowing, this is a really good, fun hole to play. Look at the vistas.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Now the second shot here to this par 4 second.
Well, you took some yardage off that tee shot because it's playing downhill. And the second shot, you might have to add a little bit on because it's going to play slightly back up the hill. Green has 3 different levels. It'd be very important you get the ball on the right level. That bunker on the right, if you come out of it a little bit because that second shot's slightly uphill, there could be a little bit of a problem, especially if the flag's all the way in the back.
This is a good-looking shot. That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. No problems early. Looks good.
It does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
Now on to the first of the short holes here at Wolf Creek. Uphill shot, Frank?
Yes, it's going to play a little longer because of that. Then it's 227 yards off the back tee. Hard to imagine you have a par 3 in amongst this desert. And really, that's all it is. Tee and green. There's not much in between. Well protected, as you can see, by those bunkers. And this green a little smaller than what you'd like for a hole that's around that 230-yard mark.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. And he's made the green.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. 383-yard fourth hole. Certainly not long, Frank, but there's plenty of trouble out there.
Yeah, this is very much a positional hole. This is not sort of tee it up with a driver and just rip it down there. Just find the fairway. You're going to have virtually just a short wedge, 9-iron really at the most into this green. And really, this is a good chance for a birdie. So 2 good shots, and you shouldn't be too far away.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Now the approach here at the fourth, Frank.
Just a short iron. It really is all that's required across this green. You can see it has a raised front, but this is more like trying to parachute a shot onto the green there. And should really be looking at a birdie opportunity there. Not much wind. Remember, you're playing in the thin air, so just judging that distance.
That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Now to the par 5 fifth hole. Cut it over the ridge here, Frank?
Well, if you can, if you dare. And there is actually a stream here. I know we're in the middle of a desert, but if you can clear that stream, that's the main thing. This is a crazy-looking tee shot because it looks like you want to go down that left, down that canyon area, but if you don't know the exact distance you fly the ball, then you're going to be in lots and lots of problems. Those collection of 3 bunkers down the right side, as long as you can avoid that, then that second shot to this par 5, that's not overly long, it's just under 500 yards, is certainly reachable. Second shot will play uphill to a elevated green with, once again, 3 different levels.
Good tee shot, right in the fairway, and plenty long. Frank, what's it going to take here on this approach at the par 5?
Well, some people might actually try and bounce it in between those 2 bunkers and run the ball up on the green, but personally, I'd try and actually take a hybrid or something with a little bit more loft and try and fly the ball. Take those 2 bunkers out of play.
Frank, this is the way you draw it up. This is how the game's supposed to be played.
Yeah, so far, everything going according to plan.
Good-looking shot right here. Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He has this for eagle.
Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5 fifth hole, it also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot played just a fraction uphill. And this green, it's got more humps than hollows in it. It's to be expected, though. This course is absolutely crazy.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, in golf, there's nothing quite like the final round of a hotly contested championship, and this one could be a doozy.
And there's nothing quite like that leaderboard I'm looking at right now. We are going to have some amazing golf. This one is going to have to be won.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present final round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, set to bring you all the action out on the course. And Frank, what can you tell us about Wolf Creek?
Well, it's a mesmerizing layout. You can see from above, Rich, in amongst all these sort of canyon areas and boulders, and I've never really seen a golf course like this. It's like Disneyland for the golfers. It's phenomenal, and each hole has a totally different look. It's hard to imagine you can build a golf course in an area like this. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. We're here at the downhill par 3 11th hole. Frank, it's 215 yards from the back tee.
This hole certainly is not for the faint of heart. When you look at that tee shot, you think, oh my God, what do I do from here? But remind yourself, it's 215 yards and really only about 160, 170 yards to green grass again. But it's 215 yards. That should be the club that you're trying to pick. Green's big enough. Just persuade yourself that. Try not to look at the canyon and the desert. There is a green down there. The hole is playable.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. That finds the bottom of the cup. We'll call that a birdie. From a par 3 to a par 5 here at the 12th. It measures 560 yards, a sweeping dogleg left, and there is some trouble down that left side.
This is a scary tee shot. There's no two ways about it, Rich. You've got to get the ball in play because you can really rack up a good score here. That water very much in play. Doesn't matter what club you decide to hit off the tee. 560 yards actually is reachable, believe it or not. But you've got to get it on the fairway. You don't really have to be too brave and try and take too much over there. The other thing, too, to consider about is this green is nearly half the length of an NFL football field. It is 55 yards from the front of this green to the back of the green.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a masterclass in short game.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Par 5, 12th, and Frank, another reminder that Wolf Creek can really be intimidating.
It can. Water down the left. They'll take a huge dent off your scorecard. A lot of fairway down the right. Somehow find that this par 5 can be reachable, and 2, there's still trouble to the right of this green if you get a little bit cavalier. This, without doubt, the longest green on the golf course. It's 55 yards from front to back. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Great professionals, Frank, they don't fear the greenside bunker shot, do they?
No, because you can be as aggressive or as conservative as you want. You actually have far more options. And you don't have to hit the ball first.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Pretty good shot right there. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
11 feet away. Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Couple shots over par. 14th hole here at Wolf Creek. Time to pull out the driver and as well the phone, because you want to take some pictures here. Yeah. What a spectacular view.
Stunning. You can see a whole panoramic sort of 360 degrees right around this golf course. Then when you flick back and actually look at the 14th hole, there's 6 bunkers, 3 really in play with the tee shot, as you can see, the other 3 just up by the green. Anything to the right of those is preferred, unless you want to be playing your second shot out of the canyon or the bunkers. Green should be fairly receptive, and 3 distinct portions, which is sort of a common trait here at Wolf Creek. That's sort of 3 different tier levels and that. But let's see, birdies are to be made at Wolf Creek, maybe even one.